Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast as always hosted by yours truly, Chris. How's it going? Welcome, everybody. This is episode number 248. 248. You know, what would be really cool is if you wanted to keep up with everything that I do when I'm not doing the podcast. You know where to do that? But on my Twitter and Instagram, you can find me at Casting for Two. I also am part of the Constantly Calibrating streaming buddies. So I will stream during the week, and you can find me on mixer.com/MRCMH93. And of course, the other podcast that I do with Josh Silverman from Constantly Calibrating, Ramble Jam. That is every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern, or 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Also, I mean, if you like the show, you like what you're listening, why don't you leave me a review? Reviews are always nice. Everyone's going crazy for these Avengers reviews. Why don't you just take what you like about the Avengers and apply it to me? Basically the same thing. But yeah. I should talk about my guest. Repeating guest, Shelly Bhalla, is back. And it's great to chat with her. She's on the show, Jane the Virgin, which just got renewed for a 5th season. And I made a dummy and I forgot to release this earlier before the season ended. But it's still great to chat with her. She's such a cool person, and she's certainly welcome back anytime. But I'm going to stop talking and we're going to get into this episode. So Chris, cue the music, please. Going well, and yourself?
I'm doing great. There was no caller ID on this phone number, so I was like, I hope this is Chris.
Right? Yeah. I forgot to tell you a couple times there a random number pops up, and other times, and I've done experiments where I tried calling the number and nothing happens.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't get it, but now it's Hayes. It's just like unknown caller unknown, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's you.
Yes. Or is it?
I know, right? And just the person's just like taking this joke and going to town with it.
Right? What kind of lame joke is that?
I don't know, but I used to prank call people, so I like, it's so lame, but it's something I used to do.
Okay. Well, do you have a good prank call story?
Oh gosh, do I? I'm trying to think. I do actually. There's like one. This just makes me look the biggest dork. I don't know if I should be sharing this, but I had a roommate in college, and we used to love prank calling people. Like when everyone else was like out partying, we would be prank calling people. And then there was a couple of people that we prank called for years, even after college. Like it went on for like a good 5 or 6 years, and they would always pick up, and they're like, "Hey, it's been a while since we've heard from you." Like they knew they were being pranked, but they were just like, "We've missed you." So I don't know if we want to share that, but we took it pretty seriously.
Gotcha. So, but you guys weren't being like vicious or anything.
No, we were just silly, super silly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's always probably appreciated.
I mean, not by everyone, but we had some people that would miss the calls when they weren't coming in.
Gotcha. No,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, we never really got into prank. I mean, we did occasionally, but
Yeah.
it was just okay. We don't know what to do.
Well, you just had like more of a life than I did.
Well, I doubt that. It's like, well, we should stop and go play video games or something, something like that.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
I'm happy to be chatting with you again.
Me too. It
Uh,
worked out. I started hearing from like a couple of other podcasts, and I thought like, oh, I should reach out and check in.
Which I'm happy you did because when you first contacted me, I was just kind of like, I don't know if we should chat so soon because for me it feels like we
Hmm.
just chatted like 3 months ago, and then
I think it's been a while, hasn't
well,
it?
yeah, I had to go back into my
Yeah.
episode list
Okay.
and I saw it was May, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're overdue for a chat. But yeah, so I'm happy to chat with you and to play
Great.
catch up with you.
Amazing.
But one of the things I gotta ask you,
Hmm.
you're on your way to becoming a certified yoga teacher.
So yeah, I'm in a teacher training program for Kundalini yoga, but I'm not doing it to teach it professionally though.
Okay. Or do you just
Yeah.
want like the free parking pass that comes with it, or?
No, for me, I've been taking this kind of yoga for several years,
Hmm.
and it's something that's like it's just really just been good to me. And
Hmm.
I just got to a point where I was like, I would love to be able to like have some tools to share with people in my life that have like just helped me a ton.
Okay.
Because it's also like it's mostly unlike other kinds of yoga, it's based more on like breathing and meditation
Oh.
versus like so you're not going there to get a workout, you know. It's more like meditative, and it's shown up for me like when I've gone through like rough patches.
Hmm.
So for me, I'm just there to like master it, and then hopefully just be able to like share it with with people in a way that's doing it justice.
I see. Okay. So you're a big believer in meditation and all that.
Yeah, I am big time.
Okay. Now, because
Yeah.
I'm very fascinated because I've read articles and downloaded apps on kind of how to meditate, and I have
Hmm.
no idea how to do it. But for you, what do you get out of it?
Personally, I find that I think some people they like download like Headspace or there's all these great apps out there, and they're like, well, I
Hmm.
did it, but my mind is still racing, or I can't turn it off. And
Right.
I think that it's not about turning it off. Like you're always going to have thoughts. Like we're human beings, but I think it slows them down, and I find that it helps me just feel more grounded, more calm. I'm less likely to react to something emotionally. Like I feel like it just slows me down a bit and helps me just be more present and for me more calm. It
Okay.
helps a lot with neuroses and overactive imagination.
Okay. One of the things I'm very interested about is having outer body experiences because
Hmm.
the idea of it sounds really cool to me. As
Yeah.
yeah, but I've never really, and again I've researched on how to do it, and it's just I can't I guess slow down my mind enough to actually do it.
I think you need to let go of wanting to have that experience, which I
Okay.
know sounds obnoxious, but because I've found that I've had them before in like deep meditations, but it hasn't at all been my goal. Like
Gotcha.
it's come as a result of just being really dropped in and really, so and that's what they say to us too. Because I remember the first time I had it, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to have that again. And like the teachers that I've talked to and people I've learned from, they told me, they said that was like, that can't be the goal. Like that's just
Mm.
part of the experience. So, and I find that like when I have let that go, like I have had more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just give up then. No, I'm just kidding. I it's it's almost like not expecting it, or like kind of just being you.
Yeah. And just sitting with like whatever you've got going on
Okay.
and being present with it.
Okay. Okay. I'll have
Yeah.
to give it a shot. I haven't tried it in years though, but I remember I did download Headspace, and it was my own fault because I didn't keep up with it.
Well, it's hard to. I mean, it's like, I think everyone is so busy, so it can be it's difficult to justify like, oh, I'm just going to sit here for whether it's like 10 minutes or 20 minutes and, do something that's seemingly unproductive.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, and I know a lot of people that this is true for as well, when you take like, whether it's just setting the alarm a little bit earlier in the morning or, just making time for it, I find that like those days are just better days. Like I get more things done. There's just more of an ease to the day. Like, or if something comes up that's stressful, like it doesn't hit me in the same way. Like I just feel like I'm a little more like capable of handling life when I do it. So it's been really good to me. It's not for everyone, but I think it's like worth trying, and like just, exploring a bit to see if it like makes your life any better.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong. Especially if it's something that could be beneficial for you,
Right.
down the road. So yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
So how's it going? Like what's going on? how's the
Things
acting?
are good.
Yeah, how's the acting side
Yeah,
going for you?
things are going well. I'm still working on Jane the Virgin.
Mm-hmm.
We're in season 4 right now, and we're more than halfway through the season. It's been a really fun season.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a real treat. Like we've just had amazing guest stars, like wonderful directors, and so I've been pretty busy with Jane. And I've done some guest spots on a couple of other shows, which is, so the acting has been busy, which is always a wonderful blessing. So
Mm-hmm.
no complaints in that department.
Nice. And so, as far as it must be cool, to be working on the show, but when you mentioned, the directors coming in and out, it must be awesome to learn new things from how different people work.
Yeah, it really is. And I think we're very lucky on that show that we have a really diverse group of directors. And a lot of people don't know this, but the vast majority of the directors on Jane the Virgin are women,
Mm-hmm.
which is also just really rare on a set. So
Right.
for me personally, more than 90% of the directors I've worked with on Jane have been women, and a lot of them are women of color. That is super rare on
Mm-hmm.
a set. So there's that, which is awesome. And then it is just great to see how differently everyone works together. And there's some directors who come back, like they've done several episodes, and there's some like one-time directors, but it's a lot of fun to play and kind of discover. Like some don't give you much. They just kind of want you to do your thing, and they might adjust you a little bit. And then there's others who have like a very specific vision for how they want it to go.
Uh-huh.
So it's definitely, it's always interesting to work with someone new
Okay.
and like
Okay.
explore that dynamic.
Yeah, nice. And plus, I guess it must keep everything fresh for you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it must be like, I know you said the 4th season, but I mean, as the seasons go on, it's like, I guess I hear some of these, things that actors get stuck in these long roles, and it's just like, I know this character, I don't know how to play him anymore, or I've played him too much. So it's nice to get a little bit of variety in there every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure. And personally, I find it really fun to like grow with a character because you're also growing with the cast as well, because like those relationships are evolving, and also the writers, they make it really fun. They just give you a lot of fun stuff to play with. So I think it's a real treat.
Nice. Is
It
there
reminds
some?
me of theater days.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Is there some place where you'd like to see your character go?
Yeah. I would love to see her really step into her power. I think she's often pretty frightened and scared. So yeah, I would love to see her really step into her power, and it would also be great to see her like outside of work and what her life is like. Does she have like a love life? Like that would be fun to explore.
It'd be funny if your character was like a secret millionaire and just kind of just bored.
Chose to stay in a horrible toxic work situation.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. She just hates herself that much that she's like, I'm going to put myself through this.
Exactly.
Anything is possible on Jane the Virgin, so you never know. Like that very well could be the case.
Okay, here's I'm going to go pitch that to the writers. Okay.
Great.
I got them on speed dial. Actually, let's put them in right now. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be funny if all the writers shared just one cell phone.
Yeah, just one that they like all just take turns holding on to.
So what else is going on with you?
What else is going on? So things have been busy on the acting front. I've been training to I'm getting certified in Kundalini teacher training, although not to be a teacher, which is very confusing for a lot of people. But that's been going on. Other than that, like life has been pretty hectic and busy, so I've just been trying to like read a lot. I like set this goal for myself that I would read one book a week that I started this year. So I've been doing a lot of that, which has been fun. And then really just trying to like keep up with it all. It's a hectic time of the year. So yeah.
Yeah, and see, the whole book thing is because you've also read. I've seen your social media posts where you post about like reading yoga inspired books and stuff like that. I'm kind of doing something a little bit.
I read one recently.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're mostly fiction actually, but I did read one. There was by David Lynch. That's about like creativity and meditation.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't really know too much of his. I only know David Lynch's music side, which is real weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't grow up watching Twin Peaks or Mulholland Drive or anything like that, but I remember I didn't know I knew he was a director, but I didn't know he was a musician. And his music, it's weird, but it's also kind of catchy. Which,
I mean, that seems pretty aligned with his films. Like,
right.
His films are incredibly bizarre and trippy and brilliant. Yeah, that's interesting. I really don't know much about his music.
Yeah, it's don't go in a happy mood. I'll just say that.
Okay.
You got to be in a weirdo mood.
So if I'm in a dark place, I'll look up his music.
There you go. There you go. Schedule some dark music time.
Perfect.
But I've been trying to, because I'm not, I don't really read all that much. So the kind of the similar goal that you set, but I kind of do a book a month, because because I don't know if I can do a book a week, but a book a month is pretty manageable.
No, a book a month is like just a way more sane, manageable goal. I don't know. I was reading like about 2 or 3 a month. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to push myself to do one a week, because I was like, I just know I can make the time. There's time where I'm just probably scrolling through Instagram, or I don't know, just wasting time. And it's crazy how like reading for 10 minutes, like, while I'm waiting at the doctor, or like reading for 15 minutes when I would have normally be, I don't know, looking at pictures of pandas on Instagram, like how fast that can accelerate how quickly you finish a book. It's pretty nuts.
I have a friend who, I don't know how she does it, but I guess she's been doing it since she was a little kid, who reads like a book a day, and I'm just like, oh my gosh,
incredible.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
It blows my mind. Okay, maybe not a book a day, maybe like a book every 2 days, but yeah,
no, that's impressive. I'm not that fast.
Yeah.
does she have a job that's like in the literary field? Is she a writer?
Well, she's a blogger who wants to be a writer, get published and all that good stuff. But yeah, she is in a position where she has sent books, so she just has stacks on stacks on stacks of books that she's like, I'll get to them eventually, and then she's just knocking them all out right now.
That's so cool.
It's funny because she's the book side, I'm the movie side. Like I'll have stacks of movies, and they're like, all right, let's knock these out, boom, boom, boom. Like this morning, I watched the Cloverfield movie that just came out last night.
What did you think?
It's not a bad movie. The Cloverfield franchise in general is one that kind of doesn't need to be a thing, but it is, and I think that's what makes it cool.
Okay. I'm so behind on movies. It's embarrassing. I have a bunch and I get, the screeners from SAG.
Okay.
So I have no excuse, but I'm really behind. There's so many I need to see.
So what was the last movie you saw, whether it was in theater or just, at home?
Okay, so the last movie I saw in the movie theater was right before Christmas, and I saw The Greatest Showman.
Okay.
Which I absolutely loved, and my friend directed it, Michael Gracie.
Oh, okay.
And it was just it was such a beautiful film on its own. But then I remember just like years ago him showing me like the sketches of like like just like I saw it years ago, like that initial vision. So it was just like emotional to see it come to life. And I absolutely loved it. I went on opening day with my family, and then the last movie I saw at home was a really goofy movie that I thought was hysterically funny called L.A. Story, but it's like Steve Martin wrote it.
Oh, okay.
From I think the 90s. It's for anyone who's lived in LA or spent time in LA. I don't know if it would be funny to anyone else, but it makes fun of LA in like the sweetest possible way, and it's ridiculous and hilarious. So I really enjoyed that.
Nice. I'll have to check. I'm very pro Steve Martin, so I probably should check that out.
Then you definitely have to check it out because he wrote it and he's also in it.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, I read his biography again not too long ago, and it's just national national treasure Steve Martin.
He's great. I do need to read his biography. I've read some other things by him, but I haven't read that.
But back to The Greatest Showman. It was funny because I saw that in theater, and I was like, this is a great movie. The music, I was like, music's good, but I kind of I don't feel like La La Land. I'll listen to that soundtrack all day. Greatest Showman, I was like, man, it's okay. And then as time started going on, I was like, let me listen to that one song. Let me see how it is. And literally right before I called you, that's what I was listening to.
It's so good.
Which
song was it?
It was the album.
Me? The album. There's a couple of the songs on that soundtrack, and it's like I definitely am, biased because I'm friends with the person who made the movie, but I legit listen to that soundtrack like a lot. I think the music is so good.
Yeah, I was halfway between Come Alive right before I called you.
Nice.
So.
Do you know that the Rebecca is it Rebecca Ferguson? That's her name,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's her name.
She's not actually singing in the movie. It's a different woman.
You know what? I don't like the movie anymore. Thanks a lot. I'm done with the movie.
It's over. I ruined it for you.
It's done.
But I thought she was so good. I mean, I thought she was just brilliant in her role. But then I was like, I had no idea she could sing like that. And then I looked it up and then realized it was a woman who was on The Voice some years ago. Okay. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's so weird because in these movies, you don't know who can sing these days. So it's
right.
It's just always like, okay, is that really them, or is that like we all know Hugh Jackman can sing for sure?
Oh, so good.
But yeah, no. And then and a couple of months ago, I watched Les Mis for like the first time after seeing it for the first time, and I was just, God, Hugh Jackman.
He's just amazing. I saw him on stage in New York like over 10 years ago, and my arm is covered in goosebumps now. Like anytime I think about it, I just get chills because he's just so amazing. Like he just like gave like 200% of himself, and like it was just exhilarating to watch.
Did you see that was it the Oz show, The Man from Oz or whatever?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
one. That's the
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I have no idea what that show is, but I just know the title.
No, I'm impressed because I don't know that I would have been able to pull it up that quickly. It's been so long.
Here's the thing that I should probably tell you. I remember a lot of dumb stuff, movie titles, actors, directors. That's pretty much it.
Well, at least that's something. I feel like I don't remember like where I live half the time. I feel like each day that goes by, my memory is just, it frightens me how bad it is. So at least you've got that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'll tell you where you live next time because I memorized it. Don't worry. Oh, that's creepy. Anyway, so I'm curious. Last time we talked about getting into an actor's headspace, and I'm just wondering, since the year we last chatted, has that kind of changed for you?
Oh yeah. So I think we were talking about auditions and how nerve-wracking they can be. I mean, it's still like a nerve-wracking experience for me. I'm not going to lie and act like I'm above that. But yeah, I mean, I do find that like each day, week, month that goes by, and I guess I've been doing a lot of work on, myself regarding like meditation and whatnot. Like it gets better, but I definitely, the nerves still, those are still there. And I definitely have to talk myself out of, comparing myself to the other actors that are in the same space. Yeah, but I don't know if that'll ever go away, but it's just more, I think a lot more manageable now and not as severe as it used to be.
Gotcha. And it's all, I guess, again, I've never been in the position to audition or anything like that, but it must also be a little weird when you go into a audition for a role and you see a bunch of ladies that look exactly like you in various ways.
Yeah. It's funny. For me, it's one of two things because being like a white actor, there's, so sometimes I walk in and everyone is completely different and we're like, oh, you just have no idea what you want. There's like a redhead, an Asian girl, there's me, there's like black girls. And I'm like, we're just like, and we just all look at each other like, like they just don't know what the heck they want.
Yeah.
And then there's other times when you walk in and it's just a bunch of versions of you, but you're like, oh, there's like the hotter version of me, and there's the more glamorous version of me, and there's the shorter version of me. So yeah, that's always fun. No, it's definitely not fun. It's not like great for anyone's self-esteem to go into those situations. But for me, like I just have to laugh at it because it is so ridiculous. And it's something that's so unique to this industry.
Right.
I just have to make fun of it.
And it must be weird because I mean, over time you must see a lot of the same ladies. Like, like, hey, it's you again.
Yeah,
what's going on?
I've become friends with a couple of them. I'm just very much in like, I just find this whole situation so comical. Like, it's ridiculous that you have to like, I think if you take it too seriously, you're going to not stick around very long because it's just too hard. So, yeah, I mean, like I'll always like smile and chat with women at the audition. And there's a couple that like I've become friends with and we hang out because it's like we kept seeing each other and it's like, why not? Like, I don't, I think it's like, there's so many, when it comes to booking a role, there's just so many factors that it could be like they want someone who's a little taller but not quite as tall as you, or maybe they want someone with straighter hair or a different race. Like there's just so many things that are out of your hands that I don't look at. I really try not to look at the other women in the room as competition. I think that we all bring something so different to the table. And so it's like, why not be warm and kind to these people who are going through the same thing as me? So it's fun. I've like made some friends that way. And then even if I haven't made friends, like we'll acknowledge each other, be like, oh, it's good to see you again. And yeah, which some people find really weird. Like I definitely smile at some girls and they're just looking at me like, why?
Yeah, you're my competition.
Yeah. And I'm just like, life is too short and this is too weird to take this seriously. Yeah.
Well, that's all you can do. I am a big believer in being nice to our neighbor because ultimately we're all sharing the same space. So
exactly. And someone's going to book the part and it's going to have nothing to do with our interactions outside of the room, so
right.
It's meant for someone, and I'm just a believer in the right roles will find you. So it's just a matter of like doing the work, showing up, being patient, and I think being just like a decent human being. So someone would actually want to work with you. I think that matters too.
I think those are words to live by. Just be a decent human being.
Great.
There you
go.
Yeah,
at least trying to be. At least try, right?
Exactly. For the people at home who'd like to keep up with everything that you do, where can they do all of that?
So on Instagram, that's usually where I post the most and do silly things. I'm Shelly from the block. And on Twitter, I'm at Shelly Bhalla. I feel like I said this last time, and I haven't made that much progress in a year, but I'm trying to be better at social media. So I will continue to try and be more consistent with.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's social media itself is a full-time job.
There's some people who really give it a lot of time, and props to them. But I haven't figured that out.
Yeah. I'm because I used to do 2 Twitter accounts, and I was just, this is too much. So I ended up not saying goodbye to the other one, but just kind of, you can go chill over there. I'll be back when I need you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all good. But Shelly, thank you so much again. Really nice to catch up with you. Really
great chatting with you too. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Like I said, anytime you want to come back, I'm more than happy to chat with you. And maybe next time you could give us some breathing tips.
Amazing. Hopefully I'll be a little more qualified by then.
Right. But you have yourself a wonderful day, all right?
Thanks, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.